Hey guys, I'm Shelly and this is Let's Talk Football. Welcome to Let's Talk Football, where I voice my opinion on the NFL and the NCAA. So the focus of this week's video is talking about the first week of regular season play for the NFL. Also, side note, I am a Florida student, and I know the streak is broken with Kentucky, and it hurts, and I understand that, and we're going to move on, because we're not talking about the NCAA or the SEC or the loss that Florida occurred against Kentucky. Moving on. Now, on to the NFL. So, first game this week was the Falcons and the Eagles. The Eagles struggled a little bit in the preseason. The Falcons did okay. I didn't see anything like significantly bad or significantly good really for the Falcons. So, coming into this game, there was a lot of like, okay, so who's gonna do this and that? I honestly thought the Falcons were going to win since the Eagles struggled so much in the preseason. But the Eagles surprised me because they won 18-12. And I think, and a lot of other people believe that it was due to the fact that the Eagles were able to stop the connection between Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. And that's something that the Falcons really hammer on and pride themselves on, and it kind of gets to a point where it's like, okay, one man should not make a team. If they can't connect this way, you have to find other ways to get the job done. It's just my 2 cents, and we're moving on. Now, the Sunday slate, starting with the Patriots game, Texans and Patriots. For those of you that are new here, I am a Patriots fan, but with these videos, I try to keep my obvious apparent bias for the Patriots or even the Florida Gators when it comes time to talk about NCAA football. But I would just like to put my bias out there so that if it does happen, I warned you ahead of time. So, yes, I am a Patriots fan. Moving on. So, with the Pats game against the Texans, there were a lot of... the game itself was really contested, and it was a great game because the Texans and the Pats brought it hard, which is good, and that's obviously what you want out of a football game. Now, I know, particularly on the Patriots side, they had to make some adjustments with people coming and going during the preseason and even right before the preseason. And then on top of that, one of Tom Brady's favorite targets in Julian Edelman, he was gone. In fact, he's going to be gone for the next 3 games. And so they're going to have to make some adjustments, and they have. But there's always, of course, room for improvement. No team is perfect. Like, if a team is perfect, then they're going to be doing something behind the scenes that nobody's seeing. So, and the final outcome for the Patriots game, Texans-Patriots game, I should say, was Texans 20, Patriots 27. Okay. God. Alright, so the next Sunday slate game that I'm going to talk about is the Steelers and the Browns. Y'all. So the Browns, right? They drafted Baker Mayfield first round this past draft, and I mean, he's a good quarterback. Whether or not he's a good person, we're not going to talk about here because that's not technically relevant. But he does have playing ability, like unlike some other quarterbacks that I could mention. But he and the Browns have really found a way, it seems, to build around him, which is good. And they tied the Steelers and the Browns tied. Score was tied at 21 at after overtime, and I just don't know how to feel like the rest of the football community unless you're a Browns fan or a Steelers fan. You don't know how to take this, because I feel like they could have gone into double overtime. Am I wrong? I couldn't. Could they have not have gone into double overtime? Well, either way, looks like the Browns could be on the up and up. They go and have a tough challenge when they go down to New Orleans this coming Sunday. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, moving from one Ohio team to the other. The Bengals played the Colts this week in Indianapolis. Final score was 34-23, Bengals. And I'm hoping for the fans in the state of Ohio that their teams are getting better, mostly because the Bengals and the Browns have been the butts of so many football jokes, and I am guilty of these jokes, mostly with the Browns. Both of my parents happen to be from Ohio, and my mom is from the side of Ohio that generally has more Browns fans in it. You kind of split Ohio in half. You got the Cincinnati side and the Cleveland side, so they kind of go to their respective teams. And I sincerely hope that the Browns are finally on the up and up, and it will definitely be interesting come playoff time if they end up in the playoffs. All right. Next game, Tennessee Titans and the Miami Dolphins. Game was played in Miami. The Dolphins won 27-20. And I didn't watch the game. I'm sure. Actually, I couldn't have watched the game because I didn't get the game because I don't live in the Miami area. And that area got the Patriots game instead. So, although I do know of one Miami Dolphins team member now who used to play for the Patriots, but he didn't get a whole lot of playing time in this game, so it obviously seems that either Marcus Mariota didn't really get his stuff together for this game. Maybe it wasn't his fault. Maybe Ryan Tannehill was able to kind of get the troops together a little bit better, but regardless, Miami won. So, on to the next game. Alright, next game that I'm going to talk about are the Vikings and the 49ers. Okay, talking about the 49ers, I have a little bit of beef with something that Jimmy Garoppolo may or may not have said. I hope that he did not say that he is better than Tom Brady. Not because I'm a Patriots fan, but more so because you're really young, Jimmy, and you do have great potential, but I would not make such a bold claim, regardless of how good you actually are, which you are really good, but there's still a lot of work to be done. Brady's got, give or take, 15, 16 years of experience on you. So it's going to take a little bit for you to get up to that caliber. But I truly believe that you can. It's just... no. It's going to take a little bit. So the Vikings beat the 49ers 24-16. So I guess Jimmy's not as good as he thinks he is. I mean, it also could not have been his fault. Truly. That's one thing that I think about sometimes, is that with the quarterback kind of being the face of a team, it makes it easy for the fans to blame the quarterback for the team not performing well. And I know Florida fans do it a lot. And it's like, well, you have to remember, one man does not make a team. And while the quarterback may contribute to the hardships, he's not the sole reason that the team is not performing well. So, moving on. Buccaneers and the Saints. This game surprised me because I thought, and a lot of other people seem to think, that without Jameis Winston, the Bucs would not win. And of course, Drew Brees is healthy and all this other stuff. But the Bucs managed to pull out a win, 48-40. So, as you can see by the score, it was very highly contested, and both teams really fought it out, trying to beat each other to the punch. And the Bucs kind of showed everybody, no Jameis, no problem. See, like, that right there is an example of one man does not make a team. With Jameis gone, they adjusted and they accounted for it, and they were able to get the job done. So, good on you, Tampa. Good on you. All right. Now, the Jaguars, and the Giants. I mean, I don't know what to say. The Jags are on an up and up trend right now, especially with Blake Bortles really coming into his own. I know for them, and their defense is really big. And with the Giants, they're relying a little too much, I think, on their quarterback position and their ability for Eli to throw the ball to Odell Beckham Jr. And they kind of need to get off that and work everywhere else and make sure that they're doing the best that they can on all sides of the ball and in all positions, versus just... Also, Eli. Can I talk to you for a minute, Eli? I know it's not your fault that the Giants aren't doing well. At least not completely. But if you need to kind of step back a little bit, maybe let if the Giants even have another QB, let him play a little bit. Because you've been playing for a really long time. And it seems like you might not be playing much longer. But then again, we said that a couple years ago, and here we are talking about it. So, maybe not. Okay. The Ravens and the Bills. Oh my god. The final score for the Jags-Giants game was 20-15. So, maybe the Giants aren't doing so bad after all. Alright, the Ravens and the Bills. Joe Flacco looks real good this year. Joe Flacco and the rest of the Ravens, they look really good. Then again, and you hear this a lot in college sports too. Oh, well, they didn't play anybody, or it's just the Bills, or it's just Buffalo. Something that was brought to my attention, Florida's the first week of NCAA play, when Florida played Charleston Southern. Somebody that I know was like, "Oh, well, you guys didn't play a real team." Did we play a team of ghosts? No, these are real people, and apparently they're really good in their division, but they're not put to the same caliber as a Division I team. So that's kind of probably where the discrepancy was a little bit. But anyway, back to the Ravens and the Bills. The Bills scored a field goal. They scored that field goal. And the Ravens not only answered their field goal, but tacked on another 44 points. So the final score for the Ravens-Bills game, was Ravens 47, Bills 3. Buffalo, you got a lot of work to do. A lot of work. Alright, Chiefs and the Chargers. Chargers had to, of course, adjust with Joey Bosa being out, and it seems that they did, although they lost by 10 points, 38-28 to the Chiefs. But this does not have to ruin their season. Alright, the Broncos and the Seahawks. So the Broncos have a quarterback again. Hello, Denver. We see you now. I think there was a little bit of time. I mean, Brock Osweiler, he was okay. I mean, like, he wasn't like a Peyton Manning, but he wasn't like terrible. And so they finally found somebody that they can really click with. So final score for that game was 27-24. That's a really close game. And Russell Wilson, come on, buddy. You've gotten to 2 Super Bowls. What you doing? And the rest of the Seahawks, y'all got to 2 Super Bowls. What happened? I know a couple of their key players are now in different spots, but one man does not make a team. That's like the motto for today's video. One man does not make a team. Alright, Washington and the Cardinals. You will notice that I do not say the team name of Washington's football team. I choose not to say a dictionary definition racial slur. When it comes to the football team from Washington, D.C., professional football team, I will refer to them as Washington. Now that little tangent is over. So Washington actually beat the Cardinals. 24-6. So it seems that the laboring on RG3 is over, and they've gotten a quarterback that they can count on, and they've gotten other team members that they can count on, and hopefully for the Washington football team, they are also on an up-and-up trend. They've also kind of been the butt of some jokes. Okay, the Panthers and the Cowboys. Now, up until this past Sunday, the Panthers had not beaten Dallas in Carolina. So this was a really, really, really big win for them. And some people were like, oh no, Dak Prescott's going to pull it out. They're going to find a way. Well, guess what? They didn't. They lost 16-8. Now, I do like Dak Prescott. I think he's a good quarterback. I like Ezekiel Elliott. Cam Newton's a good quarterback. And Carolina has really built themselves up, and so has Dallas. But moving on. Packers and the Bears. So, I thought Chicago was going to pull it out and beat the Packers. Aaron Rodgers had an injury scare. And then somehow, after the injury scare, Rodgers and the rest of the Packers were able to pull out a 1-point win over Chicago, 24-23. That, yeah, they will definitely be teams to look out for this coming week. Alrighty. And that finishes off the Sunday games. Now we're going to move on to the Monday games. This year, they're doing something different where they have 2 games on Monday. I don't know why, but they are. And so the first game was the Jets and the Lions. Jets fans rejoice. The Jets have won a game, and by a significant margin. 48-17 was the final score in Detroit. And their quarterback was a really, really good pick. Hats off to you, Jets. Be interesting when y'all come to Foxborough. And when we go to New Jersey. Alright, and then the last game we're going to talk about, the last game of this week, is the Rams and the Raiders. Good job, LA Rams. 33-13 was the final score. I don't really have a whole lot to say about this game. I had to be asleep while it was going on because I had a class really early in the morning the next day. And seems like the Rams are, hopefully for them, coming into their own. Well, that is all the games this week. But to all those who are in the path of Hurricane Florence, please, I beg you, evacuate. Listen to your politicians and your leaders because they're trying to do what's best for you. Please, stay safe. If you like this video, make sure to click the like button so that lets me know that you like this content and that you want more of this content. You can subscribe, if you haven't already, by using this tiny bubble right here. It's a beautiful bubble. Beautiful. And if you have subscribed, please be sure to hit that notification bell so you get a notification every time I post, because that's what the subscribe button used to do, and now for some reason there's a notification bell. YouTube, why? And if you would like to watch my last video, it will be right here. And if you would like the playlist of Let's Watch Football, Let's Talk Football. It'll be right around here. Alright, with that being said, I will see you guys next week for more NFL action. Bye.